Hi, and a very pleasant good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2019 Dizzy Dean World Series 11-year-old championship game. I'm your host, Ted Rutan. We've got the Delta Drive. They are the home team facing the Madison City Blue. Terrell Johnson on the mound delivers the first pitch. It's down low for ball one to Braden Powless of Madison City Blue. The umpires for today's ball game, Jim Pasilio is behind the plate. Willie Rice out at third base. Willie Jefferson at first base. We'll get the defense set for you in just a moment. Johnson, the left-hander, kicks and deals upstairs. Ball two. Rhymes Chess is his battery mate behind the plate. We'll go around the outfield. Treverian Curtis in left. Desi Monix in center. Ethan Holland in right. The infield, Bram Harris at third, James Washington at short, Braden Antisi at second, and Jonathan Redwine at first. Ball outside, 3-0 to start things off here. Delta Drive lost once in the second round, and Madison City is undefeated so far. That's a 4-pitch walk to start things off for Braden Powless.
Come on, T-Rex, let's get them in, bud.
Throw over to first. No advance, even though it got away from Redwine a little bit. Mick Tiro, the third baseman, standing in. Johnson delivers, pitch out. Strange call for a pitch out when they haven't thrown a strike yet. So it's 1-0 on Tyrrell. Johnson delivers. Outside, ball two. Johnson having a little difficulty finding the zone right now. 3-0. These two teams played back on Sunday, and Madison City won 5-2. And it's another 4-pitch walk. Johnson, little trouble finding the zone to start things off. This will bring up Joshua Wilhide. Joshua, today's starting pitcher for the Madison City Blue. And TC holding on out at second, trying to keep Powless close. Strike call. Maybe that'll break the ice here for Terrell Johnson. Down in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside, 2-1. And that hit him. So in 12 pitches, he's thrown 1 strike and hit a batter. Tough start here for Terrell. Stepping in now, the right fielder, John David Bailey. Strike called, fastball on the outside half of the plate.
Like that, T-Rex. Come on. Like this one out. Come on.
Johnson sets, kicks and deals, swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Foul back. Bailey hangs in there. 0-2, nobody out, bases loaded. Top of the first. Down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bouncer. And TC flips to Washington for 1, throws over to first. Not in time for the double play. Redwine, good pick over there at first base. And TC flipped to Washington for the out at second, but Bailey avoids being doubled up at first. 1 out, 1-0 the score as Palace comes across for the first run of the ball game. Tyrrell at third, Bailey at first. Bailey runs, no throw down to second. Grayson Dennis, the left fielder. Looks at a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 run in. And this is lifted into right field. Holland makes the play, and no runners can advance. That's Ethan Holland out there in right. The starting pitcher in yesterday's game that sent Delta Drive to this championship. Gave a fine effort as the starter yesterday. So 2 outs now. This will bring up Nick Kukos. And I apologize the other day if I said Kukas, but that's what I was told the first time. So this time I'm told Kukos. I'll just call him Nick. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes on Nick. And Nick wants to say hi to Sophia and Pop and Nana. Down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that's outside, ball 3. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 call on the outside corner. Madison City strikes with 1 in the top of the first. Delta feels fortunate to hold him to 1. They're coming up in just a moment. Welcome back to the Dizzy Dean World Series. We'd like to thank some of our fine sponsors. Champion T-Shirts, national sponsor of the Dizzy Dean World Series. Design your shirts online. GoChampion.net. That's GoChampion.net. Baden Sports Equipment, the coaches and players' choice for 30 years. Baden Sports Equipment. And David Sunflower Seeds. Every player that's here in the Dizzy Dean World Series receives a bag of David Sunflower Seeds. Good stuff. Also, Diamond Baseballs, the official baseball of the Dizzy Dean World Series. Protect Youth Sports. They provide premier background checks on coaches, officials, umpires. Don't put your organization at risk. And also, Rawlings Sporting Goods, the mark of a pro. Rawlings, been around for a long, long time. Hey, we're ready for the bottom of the first, and leading things off for the Delta Drive is Braden Antisi, number 3, playing second base. Strike 1 from Joshua Wilhide, the starting pitcher today for Madison City. Behind the plate is Braden Palace. That one fouled away, no balls, 2 strikes. In the outfield for Madison City, in left it's Grayson Dennis, center Nick Kukos, and in right it's John David Bailey. Will Hyde lines up and delivers, down and in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Around the infield, Mick Tyrrell is at third, Trent Gilbert at short, Hayden Udovich at second, and Blake Owens at first. Foul back, and TC hanging in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Fastball from Wilhide. First strikeout. This will bring up the catcher, Rhymes Chess. Swing and a miss. Wilhide throwing some fastballs. No balls, 2 strikes. Missed just inside. Evens the count up at 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on the outside corner. 2 up, 2 down, 2 Ks. James Washington steps in. Strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Washington couldn't pull the trigger, had him tied up on the fist. Inside corner fastball makes it 1-2. Will Hyde winds and delivers. That's down in the dirt. Palace picking it back there. Grounder to third. Tyrrell throws it, and it's nicely done over there by Blake Owens. He got up in the air to grab the high throw, came down, and was able to make the play. At the end of 1 complete, Madison City Blue 1, Delta Drive 0. Hayden Unovich to lead things off here at the top of the second for the Madison City Blue squad. Swinging at the first pitch, fouling it off out of play right side. Wind up, strike 2 on the outside corner. Soft roller to third. Harris up with it. Throws across to Redwine for the out. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the second. Now batting the shortstop, Trent Gilbert. tough start in that first inning for Johnson. Couldn't find the plate. And before you knew it, the bases were loaded after 2 walks and a hit batter. But he buckled down and held them to 1. 2 balls, no strikes here to Gilbert. Pours that fastball in to make it 2-1. So the count now 3-1 to Gilbert. And this is a base hit up the middle. Right back over Johnson. First hit of the ball game goes to Trent Gilbert. This will bring up the first baseman, Blake Owens. Strike called, stolen base for Gilbert. So a runner on second with 1 out. Owens at the plate, 1-1 to count. Here's the delivery from Johnson. Lifted in the air, center field, and it's going to drop for a hit. And they tag out Gilbert. He wasn't sure whether to go halfway, if the ball was going to be caught or not. It dropped. He decided to go back to second, but the ball was already there, so that is a very odd fielder's choice, 8-6. Don't see that one very often. So Palace steps in with 2 outs. Owens on first. The way that ball was hit from Owens made it tough on Gilbert, and he couldn't make up his mind. In his mind, it was, should I stay or should I go now? And he didn't quite make up his mind at the right time, so we've got a runner on second now, 2 outs. Three balls, no strikes to Palace. Palace walked on 4 pitches to lead things off here in the top of the first. And he's going to walk on 4 pitches here in the second. So runners at first and second now with 2 outs. Mick Tyrrell, who also walked on 4 pitches in the first, steps in with runners on first and second. Strike called on the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Lined foul down the first baseline. The first baseman for Delta Drive, Jonathan Redwine, was moving a little slow there, and he injured himself yesterday, I believe. We weren't exactly sure which play, but he is hobbled. The Drive only have 9 players on their roster, so he's ready to tough it out and play in this championship round of the Dizzy Dean World Series. 1-2 pitch. Outside. That will even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mick Tyrrell. Mick wants to give a shout out to Meemaw and Grandpa and Dad. That one gets away from the catcher Chess. The runners move up to second and third. Full count, 2 outs, top of the second. Strike 3 called. That'll end the inning. No runs on 1 hit. No errors, 2 men left. At the end of 1.5, Madison City Blue 1, Delta Drive, nothing. Welcome back to beautiful Snowden Grove Park here in South Haven, Mississippi. Great facility, great site for this 2019 Dizzy Dean World Series. I'm Ted Rutan. Glad you're joining us here today. These 2 teams, they hooked up on Sunday with Madison City Blue winning that one 5-2. We're in the bottom of the second. Jonathan Redwine steps in. Wilhide's first pitch outside. Full windup. That one's down, ball 2. Upstairs, 3-0 to Redwine. And a 4-pitch walk to lead things off here in the bottom of the second. This will bring up today's starting pitcher, Terrell Johnson. He had a hot bat yesterday. Delta Drive played 2 yesterday while Madison City had the day off. Strike called. Johnson was 6 for 6 with a walk yesterday. Swinging the lumber. This is right up the middle, but to the shortstop. Gilbert steps on second, throws to first for the double play. Had him played perfectly. Johnson hit it hard, but Gilbert was right there, and talk about tailor-made. Two outs, nobody on. Trevarian Curtis at the plate. This is grounded to the first baseman, and picking it up there is Owen. So 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the top of the third. Madison City 1, Delta Drive 0. Joshua Wilhide leading things off here in the top of the third for the Madison City Blues. Outside, ball one.
You ready, 3-4? You ready?
Inside, corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. Madison, Alabama. Head coach Chad Udovich, assisted by Paige Gilbert, Nathan Paulus, and Chip Bagwell. This is lined up the middle, base hit. Wilhide with the second hit of the ball game. Coach Redwine out on the field giving some instruction to his boys.
That's all right, defense. Stay ready, be ready. Take it off. Let him stay.
John David Bailey steps in. First time up, with the bases loaded, he grounded to second. Hustling down to first, he avoided the double play and got an RBI for his fielder's choice. Throw over to first. Wilhide back easily. Johnson throws over to first again. The ball gets away, and Wilhide will go down to second base.
Hey, Terrell, we striking out the batter. We striking out the batter. Focus on the batter. Defense ready, defense ready. Be ready, defense.
Strike call on the outside corner.
Let's get those strikes in. Get those strikes in, buddy.
Defense ready.
Johnson sets and delivers. This ball is lifted into right center. That's going to be trouble. It will fall. Wilhide will score, and Bailey slides into second with a double. Well, Bailey put that in the perfect spot there, right in the gap between Monix and Holland. And it's now 2-0 Madison City Blues. Bailey on second base. Dennis at the plate. Nobody out here in the top of the third.
You ready? You ready? No balls on. Deep breath. Good Lord.
Grayson Dennis backs out of the way quickly. Grayson wants to give a shout out to Nana, Juanita, Uncle Andy, Dad Joe, Grumpy, his grandfather, and Aunt Amanda AP.
Same thing. You can do it. Defense ready. Defense ready.
3 balls and a strike. John David Bailey out there at second. Let's give a shout out to Nana Sharon Bailey. Grounder to short. Washington plays it on 2 hops. Over to Redwine for the out. 1 gone here in the top of the third. Bailey moves over to third. Here's Nick Kukos. Strike. Called. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 runner on, and 1 run in here in the top of the third. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away, and coming in to score is John David Bailey. Well, Kuko swung at 1 in the dirt, but Rhymes' chest was unable to find it. And without hesitation, Bailey scampered on in, making it 3-0 Madison City Blues. Swing and a miss. 2 gone here in the third. This will bring up Hayden Udovich. Hayden wants to give a shout out to Grandma, Grandpa Udovich, and his brother Matthew and Eli. Grandma Janice and Aunt Alana. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Lifted into right center, and it will drop for a base hit. Diving effort out there by Ethan Holland. Couldn't quite get there. So a 2-out single for Udovich. And this will bring up Trent Gilbert, who singled sharply in the second inning. Took a little off that one, and Gilbert swings right through it. No balls, 2 strikes. Udovich, short lead at first, but he's running, And this one is fouled back this way. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Thought that one might have landed on the catwalk up here. Udovich runs again, chopped. Johnson calmly throws over to Redwine for the out. But Madison City picks up 2 more. Going to the bottom of the 3rd, they lead 3-0. Here we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Delta Drive trying to get something going offensively. Leading things off will be the right fielder, Ethan Holland. Slaps that one foul down the first base line. Nice kick save down there by our first base umpire, Willie Jefferson. Another one down the first baseline foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Joshua Wilhide facing the minimum number of batters so far. Wind up, and that one's outside, ball 1. And Joshua would like to give a shout out to his mom Susan, his sister Julia, his brother Jacob. Glad you folks are watching. Another one lined foul. Holland hanging in there. Just a bit late on these pitches. So the coaches for Madison City Blue, Sean Redwine, motioning his defense to play toward the right side. Matter of fact, shortstop Gilbert is right up the middle. And here's another one. Tapped foul. Right side. If there was any way that Holland could pull one down the left field line, no one is there. And it's grounded to Hopper, back to Will Hyde. Over to Owens, easily out number 1.
Come on, Brad, let's hit that ball. Let's get on base, buddy. Make him throw a strike.
The third baseman, Bram Harris, steps in for Delta Drive. And if I misspoke earlier about the coaching staff, let me set the record straight. That is a swing and a miss. The head coach for Madison City is Chad Unovich, assisted by Nathan Pallas and Paige Gilbert. Chad was the one positioning the defense a moment ago. Two balls and 2 strikes to Harris. Swing and a miss. Two gone here in the third. The center fielder, Desi Monix, steps in. Again, Coach Unovich bringing his infield in on the left side. Big hole between second baseman Hayden Unovich and Trent Gilbert at short. Two and one the count. Wind up and delivery. Grounded down the first baseline, just foul. And that one plunked him on the helmet. Hopefully he's wearing a Schutt helmet. They are the best in the business for juniors. So that's only the second base runner so far for Clarksdale Delta Drive. The first was erased on a double play. Monix leading off at first. And the throw over to first gets away, so Monix will take second. Braden Antisi, the batter now with a huge hole between first and second. Runner goes, They throw down to third, not in time. So an error on the pickoff attempt moved Monix up to second. And then he proceeds to steal third. 2-0 now, the count on Braden Antisi. Two outs here in the bottom of the third. Gilbert playing in on the grass at shortstop. Swing and a miss from Antisi. 2 balls and a strike. Outside, 3-1. So far, the bats have been quiet for the Clarksdale Delta Drive. Strike 2 runs the count full. Will Hyde sets and delivers, and that'll be ball 4. So a bit of a threat coming now for the Delta Drive. 2 outs, nobody on. Monix was hit by a pitch. Antisi draws a walk. And this will bring up the catcher, Grimes Chess. And TC goes. Palace fakes the throw. Second and third. One ball, no strikes to Chess. 2 outs, 2 on. Two balls, no strikes. Downstairs, 3-0 the count. And we're going to have a little conference out on the mound. While we have a conference on the mound, we certainly want to thank some of our fine sponsors, such as Sadler Insurance, providing the sports and recreation insurance for the Dizzy Dean World Series. And also Schutt Sports, baseball's best fitting helmet. Massive performance, certainly best helmet for juniors. And we certainly hope that Desi Monix appreciates Schutt helmets. And Steelberry, the patch supplier of the Dizzy Dean World Series, creating memories for these players and their families. We are set to go. 3-0 the count on Grimes Chess. Runners at second and third in the form of Monix on third and TC on second. Strike called, 3-1. And that's outside, ball 4. So the bases are loaded for the dangerous James Washington. Wilhide was cruising along, facing the minimum number of batters. And now a hit by pitch and a pair of walks loads him up for James Washington. This is line into base hit into right field. One run comes in. They're going to send Antisi. He doesn't go. He pulls up. So one run scores. Bases still loaded. An RBI single for James Washington puts the Clarksdale Delta Drive on the board. First hit of the ball game for the Delta Drive. Jonathan Redwine will step in now. He walked his first time up and then was on first when the double play came. Strike call on the inside corner. Chopper, Wilhide, barehands it, fires over to first for the out. They get out of the jam, but the Delta Drive get on the board at the end of 3 complete. It's 3-1, Madison City Blues on top. Now pitching for the Clarksdale Delta Drive is James Washington. He comes in from his shortstop position. Antisi moves over to short from second. Holland moves from right to second. And Terrell Johnson goes from the mound to right field. Blake Owens, the batter. And it's a grounded one hopper right back to Washington. One up, one gone here in the top of the fourth. So here's Braden Palace. Braden offers a bunt, fouls that one back. And he wants to give a shout out to Nana and Papa, and also Grandma and Grandpa. I believe that's our third hit batsman of this ball game. Looks like everything's okay with Braden. So let's bring up Mick Tyrrell. Mick's hoping to do something good here in the fourth, and he wants to shout out to Mima and Grandpa and Dad. Runner goes, firing down to second his chest, but that one is not in time. Stolen base for Braden Palace. One ball, one strike, one out here in the top of the fourth. Three and one the count. And that one got him, and that one hurt. He is down. It got him right on the forearm. He gets up, gets a hand from the crowd. That one hurt, to say the least. Cut him right on the left forearm. Might need a first aid station down around first base. We've had 4 batters hit in this ball game. The last 2 in a row. So with one out, runners on first and second, Joshua Wilhide steps in. He was hit by a pitch in the first and singled in the third. Ground ball to second. Holland goes over to Antisi for one, fires to first, not in time. Palace moves up to third. Will Hyde is on at first. And this will bring up the right fielder, John David Bailey.
Do whatever he's got to do.
Throw over to first. Will Hyde back safely. The runner comes home and he will slide in safely. So on the pickoff attempt, Palace decides he's going to go if he throws over to first again. He does. He's safe, and it's 4-1 Madison City Blues. Just an editorial comment from me is that these youngsters throw to the bases way too often. Concentrate on throwing strikes. Over the years that I've covered youth baseball, the more times they throw to the bases, the more times bad things happen. Two balls and a strike to the cleanup hitter Bailey. 4-1 the score here in the top of the fourth. Again, we are in the championship game. And if Madison City wins, they are the 2019 Dizzy Dean World Series champions. If Clarksdale Delta Drive come back and win this one, we'll have a second game today, and that will definitely decide the World Series champion. As it stands right now, 4-1. Madison City Blues on top. Two outs here in the top of the fourth. Runner goes. Bailey swings and misses, and that will end the fourth. But the Madison City Blues pick up one more. They lead 4-1, going to the bottom of the fourth. Terrell Johnson, the big left-hander, steps in for the Delta drive. Will Hyde delivers inside. Downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. Johnson ripped one up the middle his first time, but it was right to the shortstop, Trent Gilbert, who didn't have to move, stepped on the bag and threw to first for the double play. 3 balls, no strikes. The count on Johnson. And that'll be a 4-pitch walk to lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th. So far for Will Hyde, he has had 3 strikeouts, issued 3 walks, and hit a batter, and given up 1 single. Excuse me, that's 4 walks. Outside, ball 1. Curtis looks at a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. His first time up, he hit it to the first baseman, Jonathan Redwine. Or excuse me, to Blake Owens. Outside, 2-1. That one goes to the backstop. Johnson motors on into second. Runs well for a big fella. Had some stolen bases yesterday. 3 balls and a strike now to Travarian Curtis. Will Hyde sets and delivers, and that's upstairs. Back-to-back walks to start things off here in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch upstairs to Ethan Holland. Strike called, 1-1. Gilbert is out there holding on the runner. Bunt shown, and it's fouled off. Holland kicks the dust in, showing his disgust for not getting that bunt down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out, bottom of the 4th. 4-1 the score. Swing and a miss.
Come on, Bram, let's go, buddy.
Bram Harris will be the next batter. Down and away for ball one. One ball, one strike. The count. Boy, what a beautiful day out here at Snowden Grove Park. This ball is lifted into center, and it is going to drop in for a hit. Great effort from Nick Kukos. Diving attempt, couldn't quite come up with it, but he at least stopped it and held that to a single, and runners moving up only one base. So the bases are loaded now. One out here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-run ball game at 4-1. Johnson at third, Curtis at second, Harris at first. Monix, the batter. Looks at one upstairs, ball one. Wilhide sets and delivers. That one's outside. Palace doing a nice job behind the plate. Now going to the windup. Strike call. 2-1. Shows bunt, he lays one down, and it's a dandy, and they can't connect on the toss from Wilhide to Palace. So Johnson scores on a close play at the plate. Probably would have been called out if Palace was able to hold on to the baseball, but he did not. It's 4-2. Bases remain loaded. And this bunt is popped up in the air. A diving grab! Wow, what a play by Braden Palace. The bunt attempt from Antisi went foul, and Palace quickly out of his crouch dives in to make the play. So with 2 outs, bases loaded, this will bring up Rives Chess. Big spot here. Base hit could tie the ball game. Fouled back, 0-1. What a play by the catcher. Wilhide goes from the stretch. Curtis dancing around out on third, and they will throw over to third. He's trying to draw the attention of Wilhide, and he succeeded in doing that. We're going to have a conference among the umpires. Jim Pacilio, Willie Rice, and Willie Jefferson. Actually, Willie Rice and Jim Pacilio will talk it over. I believe they're going to explain to the pitcher that you can't be faking to third base. Curtis is at third. Harris is at second. Monix at first. Chess is the batter. 4-2's the score. Will Hyde delivers. Foul back. That one's in the stands. Grabbed by a fan from Tupelo, Mississippi. Downstairs, ball one. 1-2 is the count on Chess. James Washington on deck. Second consecutive inning that the Delta Drive have threatened and scored. Bases loaded. Downstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Timeout called for a shoelace. Two balls, 2 strikes. Will Hyde from the stretch delivers. Foul back here. We'll try this one again. 2-2. Chopper to the shortstop. He's going to toss over to third for the force out, and that will end the inning. So once again, the Delta Drive threaten. They get one, but feel like they could have gotten a few more. At the end of 4 complete, it's the Madison City Blues 4, Clarksdale Delta Drive 2. Grayson Dennis will lead things off for the Madison City Blues. When we get this started, we have a conversation going on right now between Sean Redwine and home plate umpire Jim Pacilio. Madison City scored one in the first. They opened up with a pair of walks, a hit batter, and a fielder's choice. Then they added two more in the third inning, and one in the fourth. They have 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 Delta Drive error, and 6 men left on base. Delta Drive have 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 Madison City error, and 6 men left, 3 in each of the last 2 innings. Washington delivers. Foul back. That one spun over the top of the helmet of Grayson Dennis. Lifted in the air, shortstop, and TC makes the grab. 1 up, 1 down. Shout outs to Paul, Cieja, Chip and Ben Bagwell. As strike 1 is called on Nick Kukos. Swing and a miss. 0-2. And just missing outside evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Curtis in left, Monix very deep in center. Johnson in right, Harris at third, and TC at short, Holland at second, Redwine at first, Chess going the entire way behind the dish, and Washington started at shortstop and is now taking over the pitching duties. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. This will bring up Hayden Udovich, and this is popped into center. Monix is not going to be able to get there. He was playing extremely deep, as I mentioned a moment ago. And Udovich gets his second hit of the ball game. Udovich runs, throw down to second is not in time, but Monix is there to back it up. Trent Gilbert, the batter. He wants to give a shout out to his mom, Heather, and grandmother, Nancy, and grandfather, Bill. This is lifted into left field, base hit, and it goes off the knee of Curtis when he tracks it down quickly. So Gilbert has his second hit of the ball game, and we have runners at first and third here with 2 outs. And this will bring up the first baseman, Blake Owens. And picked off. That will end the inning. At the end of 4.5, it's still 4-2. Madison City leading Delta Drive. James Washington steps in for the Delta Drive. Looks at a first pitch strike from Joshua Wilhide. Wilhide has gone the entire way here for Madison City. Grounder to second. Over to pick it up is Udovich. Fires to Owens. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Redwine looks at ball 1. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Redwine walked to lead things off in the second. And grounded out to the pitcher in the third. Two balls, no strikes. Downstairs, 3-0. And that one is way off target. Redwine, for the second time this ball game, draws a 4-pitch walk. This will bring up Terrell Johnson. And we're going to have a pitching change. We'll take a short break and come back with our changes here in just a moment. You're watching the 2019 Dizzy Dean World Series from South Haven, Mississippi. Nick Kukos is the new pitcher for the Clarksdale Delta Drive. Terrell Johnson steps in, 1 out, 1 on here in the bottom of the 5th. They trail by 2. Ball gets by the catcher. They'll throw down a second. Redwine, who is hobbled a bit, had another awkward slide down there at second. He slid so late, it looks like he may have jammed his leg into the bag. And he's already hobbled, but he says he's okay. 3 balls, no strikes to count on Johnson. Let's see if he has the green light here. We won't know because that was ball 4. And Redwine tries to get to third, and he slides late again. I wonder if that's why he is hurt. Every time he has tried to slide into a bag, it has looked very awkward. So we have runners at first and third. Johnson represents the tying run over there at first. Travarian Curtis steps in. Johnson takes off for second. The ball gets away from the catcher, but Redwine is going nowhere. Johnson scoots on down to second, so the tying run is at second base. One out here in the bottom of the fifth. Kukos delivers downstairs again. 2 balls, no strikes. Okay. Three balls, no strikes to Curtis. First base is open, and he will occupy it. Ball 4. We're going to have a conference on the mound, and we're going to have another pitching change. So, we'll take a short break. We'll be back with more of the Dizzy Dean World Series. Bases loaded, bottom of the fifth. John David Bailey will be the pitcher, and let's reset the defense for you. It's pretty much how we started the ball game. Nick Kukos is back out in center field, and Joshua Wilhide, who started the game and pitched a very nice ball game, is now in right field, and Bailey comes in from right field to pitch. Grayson Dennis still in left. First pitch from Bailey is a strike to Ethan Holland. Bases loaded, 1 out. Big chance here for the Delta Drive. Chopper in front of the mound. Bailey can't handle it, and the run will score. Everybody else moves up. Bailey upset with himself on that one because it was right in front of him to toss for the force out at the plate. Tried to barehand it and couldn't handle it. Strike 1 called on Harris. 4-3 is the score. Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the fifth. Swing and a miss. Harris might have given Bailey a little help. No balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3 call on the outside corner. 2 gone. Desi Monix. He was hit in the helmet his first time up. Hit into a fielder's choice his second time. That one is knocked down by Braden Palace. Again, Palace has done a fine job behind the plate in this game. Another nice stop by Palace. But we are at 3 balls, no strikes, and nowhere to put the batter Monix. Certainly the take sign is on. And he takes ball 4. We're tied at 4. Bailey can't believe that was called ball 4. Coach Udovich trying to get Bailey to focus on pitching, not umpiring. Top of the order, tie game, 4-4, bottom of the 5th. Dizzy Dean World Series at stake. That's a 4th walk this inning, along with an error that allowed a runner to reach. We're going to have another pitching change. We'll take a short break. Come back with more from Snowden Grove Park in South Haven. Welcome back to Snowden Grove Park here in South Haven, where it's a beautiful park, but we might have some more weather coming in. We've had a few incredible downpours, over an inch in an hour the other night, and I want to give a shout out to the grounds crew here. This park looks in great shape, and they have withstood some serious storms. And trying to withstand a serious storm right now is the Madison City Blues, as Mick Tyrrell has come onto the mound, trying to put out this rally, but there's a base hit into left field. 1 run scores. They're going to send it. No, they decide to keep Holland at third. But the Clarksdale Delta Drive takes the lead 5-4 on the clutch base hit by Braden Antisi. Bases still loaded. They've had the bases loaded. They've left the bases loaded the last 2 innings. This time they've started to cash in with help from the pitchers. 4 walks in this inning and an error fielding by a pitcher. That's the first hit of the inning, and it's a big one by Braden Antisi. 5-4 is the score. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rhymes Chess. Pop up and caught by the catcher, Braden Palace. However, the Clarksdale Delta Drive strike for 3. They lead 5-4 going into the top of the 6th inning. Going into the top of the 6th, the final inning, 5-4, Clarksdale Delta Drive leading Madison City Blues. I'm Ted Rutan. We have seen a nice comeback by Delta Drive. In fact, they have left the bases loaded each of the last 3 innings. But they came up with 3 there to take the lead. Leading things off for Madison City is Blake Owens. First pitch swinging, and it's a popped into center field, a leadoff single for Blake Owens. He says, "That one's for you, Nanny and Poppy." Just what they needed, a leadoff man reaching base. And now the top of the order, Braden Palace, who has done an outstanding job behind the plate defensively. He's also reached all 3 times. He has walked and scored, walked, and then was hit by a pitch and scored. I'm sure he'd prefer to hit the ball as opposed to being hit by it. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. James Washington trying to close things down here for Delta Drive. And this is looped in to left field, a base hit. Back-to-back singles to start this 6th inning for the Madison City Blues. Mick Tyrrell will be the batter. Having a chat with Coach Chad Udovich. Washington looks in, now sets. This is ripped into right field. This is trouble. It's over the head of Johnson. 1 run scores. Here comes Powless. He is being signaled to go home. He slides in safely. It's 6-5 Madison City Blues. A clutch 2-run triple for Mick Terrell over the head of the big fella, Terrell Johnson. 6-5, Madison City on top. A single to start, a single from Owens, a single from Palace, and a triple from Mick Terrell gives Madison City the lead once again. Joshua Wilhide at the plate. He was hit by a pitch in the first, singled in the third, and hit into a fielder's choice in the fourth. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the 6th. Fouled away again. John David Bailey on deck. For the Delta Drive, they will have the heart of their order starting things off in the bottom of the 6th with Washington, Redwine, and Johnson, but they need to get out of this inning. That ball is dropped by the catcher, but they throw down to first for the out. 1 gone now. Bailey at the plate. Inside, ball 1. Tyrrell is down at third, hoping to add to this lead. Upstairs, 2-0 the count on Bailey. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes. And I believe I just saw the take sign. And it is ball 4. So now batting will be Grayson Dennis. And they go ahead and give the intentional pass to load him up here. Nick Kukos has struggled at the plate this game, so he's going to get a chance right now to redeem himself. One out, bases loaded, 6-5, Madison City on top by 1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Washington delivers outside, 2-2. The weather is coming, folks. The wind is whipping up. You can tell by the flags in the distance that because it was a dead calm just minutes ago, and now the flags are straight out, and a storm is brewing here for the Madison City Blues as well. Bases loaded, full count. Here's the payoff pitch. Foul back by Kukos, hanging in there tough. The wind blowing in. Actually blowing toward right field. Swing and a miss. Got him with a high fastball. So here is Udovich. He is 2 for 3 in this ball game. Now the wind shifting a little bit, blowing even more toward home. 1 ball, no strikes. No place to put him. Tyrrell at third, Bailey at second, Dennis at first, Udovich at the plate, Washington on the mound. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, top 6. Strike called right down Main Street. Swing and a miss. And that's ball 4. Scoreboard had it at 2-2, but that was a full count pitch down low. That makes it 7-5. Trent Gilbert, the batter. Udovich at first. Dennis at second. Bailey at third. Washington on the mound. Strike called on Gilbert. And this is a liner to short and caught for the out by Antisi. But the Madison City Blues strike back. They get 3 in the top of the 6th. They lead 7-5 going to the bottom of the 6th. Here we are in the last inning, perhaps, of this 11-year-old Dizzy Dean World Series. Certainly want to thank our sponsors: Champion T-shirts, Baden Sports Equipment, David Sunflower Seeds, Diamond Baseballs, Protect Youth Sports, Rawlings Sporting Goods, Sadler Insurance, Shutt Sports, and Steelberry. Thank you, sponsors, so much for helping us bring you folks this broadcast. Mick Tyrrell is on the mound here in this sixth inning. He came on to stop that rally in the bottom of the fifth. Leading things off is James Washington. 3-0 the count. He takes a strike, 3-1. So for the Delta Drive, they bring up the heart of their order, 3, 4, and 5, Washington, Redwine, and Johnson. And that's ball 4, so they get a leadoff walk. The combined total for Delta Drive, they have 5 strikeouts. Ten walks and a hit by pitch and 2 errors. 1 ball, no strikes to Jonathan Redwine. There's a strike from Mick Tyrrell. Runner goes, and he's safe at second base. Two balls and a strike to Redwine. With a 2-run lead, not sure why they're paying so much attention to the runner on second. Ball upstairs, 3 balls and a strike. In effect, the runner at second means little in the grand scheme of things. Strike called. 3-2, nobody out. Delta Drive need 2 to tie, 3 to win. And that's outside, ball 4. 2 consecutive walks to start things off here in the 6th. And Terrell Johnson steps in. Again, they're paying attention to the runner at second base. Strike called. 0-1. Johnson yesterday was 6 for 6 with a walk. And today he is 0 for 1 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. No balls, 2 strikes. Foul back. Count remains 0-2. Washington at second, Redwine at first. Runner goes, and it's fouled. Out of play. Terrell delivers downstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is flared into left field. That's going to fall for a hit. And the bases will be loaded with nobody out. Terrell Johnson, wow. Last 2 days he is 7 for 8 with 3 walks. That boy can hit. Curtis swings at one upstairs. Travarian 0 for 1 with a pair of walks and a run scored in this game. And this one is fouled out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Washington at third. Redwine, who has been injured and hobbling, is the tying run out at second base. Grounder to the pitcher. They throw to home for 1. They will just stop right there. Powell has thought about throwing to first, but might have had a better chance throwing to third since Curtis running down to first is rather quick. Redwine running to third is hobbled. So anyway, they get the lead runner. Forced out at home. 1 out, bases remain loaded. Ethan Holland, the batter. And he takes down low for ball 1. Strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled away. 1 and 2. Swing and a miss. Got him chasing 1. Bases loaded, 2 outs, down 2. World Series. This is what kids love about the game of baseball. They want to be in this situation, and right now, Bram Harris, you got it. Terrell sets and delivers. Strike called. Johnson out at second is the tying run. Madison City Blues trying to seal this World Series. Delta Drive want to prolong it. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Foul back. And it's liner to the shortstop. Caught by Gilbert. The Madison City Blues have won the 2019 11 Under World Series for Dizzy Dean Baseball. The joy of victory, and for the Delta Drive, the agony of defeat. They came so close. They had the bases loaded each of the last 3 innings. A well-played baseball game by both ball clubs. Congratulations to both teams, and certainly to the Madison City Blues, as they are the 2019 Dizzy Dean World Series champs. We'll be back in just a moment with a player from those victorious Madison City Blues here in South Haven. Welcome back to South Haven, where the Madison City Blues have won the 2019 Dizzy Dean World Series Championship, and we're joined by their catcher, Braden Palace. And Braden, first off, congratulations.
Thanks.
And you had a great game today behind the plate, but it had to be a little tough. You had several different pitchers. How did you look at that with all the different pitchers coming in?
I'm used to them.
You're used to all of them, so
Yeah.
you've caught all of them all
Yeah.
season?
Yeah.
Now, do you catch almost all the time?
Yeah, most of the time. I didn't play any other position this tournament.
Great. Well, I know that you hadn't when you were on this diamond. You made a diving catch on a pop-up. That was one of the highlight plays of the day. But you also were able to command that infield. When they had the bases loaded each of the last 3 innings, you're kind of in charge of placing those guys, aren't you?
Yeah.
And what does your coach tell you to do back there?
Just catch the ball. Don't drop it.
Don't
Normal
drop
catcher
it.
stuff.
Well, you did a great job back there. And also on the offensive side, you walked twice. You got hit. Are you okay where you got hit? You
I
got hit in the back.
Like square in the back.
You guys had 3 players get hit, and I know that Mick also got hit on the
Yeah.
forearm, and that was a little tough. Well, congratulations again. World Series champs. Get down there and celebrate with the rest of your teammates.
Thanks.
All right. That's Braden Palace, folks. And we are going to have some coverage in a moment. We will run footage of the championship ceremony. I'm going to say so long from up here. Thanks for watching. I'm Ted Rutan. We'll be back next week with the 12 and under. So long, everybody.